So, here we are. Good evening po, Section 3. Anyway, as promised po, this will be the recording of Lesson 5, but I will skip some of the parts, no? Or ay, grabe ka naman, sir! Naka-close ang camera mo. Ayan na, open na natin. Okay. So, good evening po. I hope everybody is having a good time during this weekend na bukas ay pasok na naman. Ganda ng background ni Sir, no? Sakalam lang ang makakaalam kung ano ang background ni Sir. But anyway, huwag na kayo masyado munang mag-isip about my background. So, Lesson 5, Psychological Perspective of the Self. We'll move on dun na po kay Erik Erikson. Yan. Excuse me. Fast forward muna si Sir. Okay. So, Erik Erikson is, yun nga po, nabanggit na natin yan. He is a psychoanalyst din, tulad ni Sigmund Freud. Okay po? So, what does it mean to be a psychoanalyst? Unang-una sa lahat, it is a school of thought under psychology. When you say psychology, it is the study of behavior and mental health of human beings and animals, but not every psychologist agree on everything. Kaya tayo nagkaroon ng different school of thought because these are a group of people with a particular belief about something. Isa na dun yung psychoanalyst. You have psychoanalyst, humanist, behaviorist, cognitive, at marami pa pong iba. Anyway, as we gonna pick up dun sa ating tinapos last time about psychosocial perspective of the self ni Erik Erikson, ulitin ko lang, when you say psychosocial perspective or stages of the self, sorry, no, not perspective, psychosocial stages of the self, it talks about different stages in human development wherein every particular stage is focused on a developmental task na dapat effective and efficient na ma-manage ng isang individual. And of course, every stage is a prerequisite or requirement for the succeeding stages. And additionally, each stage has some important social figures na makakatulong po sa tao na mas madali, no, na ma-manage ang stage na yan. I hope that was clear. You could just play it over and over again. Next. If I were to discuss, no, yung psychosocial stages, I would just like to focus on this. Although I have here specific description, dito kasi ano everything is nakalatag na, no? Pero, inom muna si Sir. Napakasarap talaga ng iced tea. Walang mali, puros tama. Okay, so, here, sa psychosocial stages na nakapresent po sa inyo na napapanood nyo ngayon, by the way, I hope maganda ang boses ni Sir through online. Bago ko nga pala ito ituloy, no? Nakalimutan ko sabihin kanina. Doing this recording made me reminisce of the online class we had before, no? It is very memorable, but not to the point na gusto ko maging online class ulit. Memorable because of all the adjustment made by the teachers and the students. And yun nga, no, very memorable si Google Meet, very memorable si Zoom. Ngayon, nagamit ko po ay Zoom kasi mas ano po ito, parang capable, no, with video recording. So wait lang, may nag-text. Yan. Okay. Ang aking misis pala yun. Iniinggit ako. Nasa town center sila kasi ngayon. Sabi ko, hindi ako makakasama kasi meron akong pinangakong i-record. Anyway, so, ito na. Yung mga figures or symbols na nakikita po natin dito, each represents yung bawat stages, no? Dito pala makukuha mo na agad yung gustong ipahiwatig ng psychosocial stages. For example, let me go through it again, no, from the very start. During infancy, the way that I could describe the individual or the child or the baby, to be specific, is a dependent, very dependent species or organism. Why? Kasi wala yang magagawa sa mundo. Anything na um, kakailanganin niya para mag-survive will be provided by those significant people around him or her, which is the parents. Yun yung sinasabi kong mga social figure that will be important during each stages. So, for the first stage, during infancy, that will be the parents. Kung may kapatid, kapatid. So, bakit bottle, no? Milk bottle. So somehow related kay Sigmund Freud, but it's not about the oral stage. No, it's not about oral pleasure or the pleasure pertaining to the mouth, but it talks about the needs of the baby, which is to survive, yun ayang pagkain, warmth, care, makaramdam ng security. With this, hindi lang apat, marami pa yan, no? Provided by the parents, kung mapoprovide, a child will feel or develop trust with his or her environment. And of course, vice versa. Next naman po, early childhood, somehow connected pa rin kay Sigmund Freud, parang toilet training yan, anal stage pertaining to the anus. Pero iba ang explanation ni Erik Erikson dyan. So, pag sinabi nating autonomy versus shame and doubt, the child is confronted of having independence through action and thinking in contrast to having these feelings of shame and doubt. When you say shame and doubt, yan yung mahihiya ka at magkakaroon ng pagduruda sa iyong mga ikinikilos at iniisip. Tama ba ito kung gagawin ko? Magagalit ba yung nanay at tatay ko nito? Di ba? So dapat during 1 to 3, natuturuan na po ang bata niyan. No? Like even in the smallest and simple of things like simplest of things like, oh anak, ikaw na pumili ng ano mo, gusto mong suot. Kasi pagka gano'n, nabibigyan mo na siya ng sense na, wow, binibigyan ako ng authority na empower ako. Kung ako yung bata, yun yung mararamdaman ko oh sige, ito gusto ko isuot kahit nasa titignan mo suot mo na yan last week, yan na naman gusto mong isuot pag umalis tayo. Kasi ako guys, as a graduate ng psychology, whatever that I have learned in my college days, now in my master's, and now what I am teaching you, I try to apply it and observe it with my child. Kung ma-observe ko yung particular theory or perspective na yan, kung napagdadaanan ba niya, kung totoo ba yan, etc. So, totoo to, no? A child should develop autonomy or independence in action and thinking during 1 to 3 years old. And after that, during preschool, which is 3 to 5 years old, this is somewhat connected to the play stage of George Herbert Mead. 3 to 5 years old, nasa kindergarten yan or play school. A child should develop pagkukusa or initiative, or else he or she will develop guilt na tinatawag. Pag guilt, yan yung pag may ginawa siya, ang mararamdaman niya is wrong. I have done something wrong. Kapag nagkamali, wrong agad ang negative emotions agad, which is pangit. So kaya ako sinabi rin kanina na bawat developmental task is a prerequisite. It's because, like for this one, autonomy and initiative, it is somewhat connected eh. You cannot develop pagkukusa or initiative kung wala ka namang independence, di ba? Kung wala kang independent way of thinking and acting, how would you initiate on doing things? Initiate, no? Nagmumura si sir, kakainis. Yes, Miss Gong, nagtatanong ka po ba? Ha? Hakdog. Okay, going back, dito na po tayo sa school age. School age is formal schooling, start of formal schooling, which is elementary days, no? 6 to 11 or 6 to 12. During this stage, industry versus inferiority, it simply means being productive. A child during 6 to 11 has a sense of self. Diba? Sinabi yan ni George Herbert Mead sa game stage. Ibig sabihin na may sense of self ka na, kung ako yung 6 to 11, can already relate myself to everybody else. Sino ba ako compared dito? Ano ba ang role ko or responsibility ko pag sinabing isa na akong estudyante? Meron siyang sense of self, self-consciousness, mahihiya. matatakot, kailangan niya na ng sense of parang sumunod. Na-observe ko yun sa anak ko kasi yung anak ko po ay 9 years old, grade 3 siya. Meron na siyang sense of being proud of what he or she does, no? Example ko nga lang, no, as a way of my experience with my son, kapag ka meron siyang mga output, tinatanong niya, no, ito yung pinaka-isa sa nabanggit ko na yata sa inyo to eh. Isa sa pinaka nakakahabag na maririnig ng isang tatay, no? Kayo rin mga soon to be tatay or nanay. Later pa yun ha, mga matagal pa, no? Dad, are you proud of me? Diba? Nakakaiyak yun sa totoo lang. Why? Because alam mo na nagpupursige yung anak mo to do something na para sa kanya is hopefully enough for the parents or other people to be proud of. So, ibig sabihin, meron siyang sense of productiveness or industry. Gusto niya maging productive. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, you may try it to experiment, no? Para lang mapatunayan na totoo yan. Pero bago yun, shut na ulit si sir. Pwede niyo eksperimentohin. Huwag niyong gawa ng assignment, pamangkin niyo, kapatid niyo, tapos hayaan niyong pumasok. Magagalit yun, iiyak yun sa school. Kasi, unang-una masisita siya ng teacher. O, ba't wala kang assignment? Kunyari, anak ko, Jayden, ba't wala kang assignment? Eh, teacher, kasi po, my dad did not help me to do things like this, what, blah, 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 blah. English speaking kasi yun eh. Malaking epekto sa kanya yun, no? Even that kind of simple thing na masasabi mo, okay lang yun, tayong mga college, di gumagawa niyan eh. Kasi tayong mga college, nandito tayo sa next stage pa eh. Iba yung ating problema sa buhay. Sa kanila, big deal yun. Makakaramdam sila ng sense of inferiority complex. And that is very, very uh, nakakalungkot, no? Na ma-develop ng isang bata. Which may worsen into stopping from going to school, magdadahilan sa mga parents niya na, Mami, Daddy, ayokong pumasok, nanay, tatay, kasi ganito, ganyan, masakit ulo ko, kahit di naman masakit ulo niya, ano-ano idadahilan. Kapag very industrious naman or productive ang bata, masaya yan. Magkakaroon din siya ng previous skill. Yung initiative, yung kanina po, lalabas yun. Siya yung gagawa, magkukusa gumawa ng assignment, siya yung magbo-brought up sa'yo na para bang excited siya na gawin kasi looking forward siya na machikan niya ng teacher na gagawin niya, gusto niya maka-perfect or whatever. Words of affirmation is very, very important during school age, no? Kasi ano yan ng bata eh, na i-integrate niya sa sarili niya, no? Which is important. Kaya kami kapatid kayo, 6 to 11, be sure to guide them, no? Guide them properly. Next is adolescence, which is kayo po, no? Identity formation versus role confusion. This is self-explanatory during this stage. Parang nagmamadali si sir, no? Ayoko lang masyadong humaba yung recording kasi mahirapan akong i-upload. During this stage, you are confronted of finding who you are, and what you can be. Which is happening right now. Nangyayari po sa inyo ngayon yan. Sometimes you even doubt yourself. Kaya ko ba to? Parang hindi ko naman maintindihan yung tinuro sa akin sa programming. Lahat ng sinasabi sa akin ni Sir Santo Domingo, papasok sa kabilang tenga, labas sa ilong, pampihira na yan. Anyway, seriously speaking, if you fail to do this, to have this concrete identity, mahihirapan po kayo next stages. You will develop role confusion which will affect you until even you are in the next stage where you are already working, if ever. So during young adulthood naman po, intimacy versus isolation, andito si Sir. Kasi ako po ay 39 years old, turning 40 pa lamang next year, January 14. So I still consider myself to be in the young adulthood. So, sir, hindi ka ba confronted ng identity confusion? Abay, hindi na, no? Paano pa ako mako-confront yan? May pamilya na ako. Nagtatrabaho na ako bilang teacher for 15 years. Sasabihin ko pa ba sa sarili ko yan na hindi ito yung gusto ko? Pwede mo sabihin na, oo sir, baka hindi mo lang inaamin. Malabo. What I am doing right now, I am happy with it and I consider it as a vocation, no? Not only as a job. When you say vocation, you dedicate yourself to it. Teaching is a vocation, no? You cannot immerse yourself into a teaching job para sabihin mo lang na para maglalaro-laro ka lang doon. Hindi po ganun yun. But the same with other jobs, no? What I'm trying to point out here is that I am done with identity formation, no? Alam ko na kung sino ako. Kahit na may sabihin ka sa akin na something very flattering na hindi na alam ko hindi naman ako gano'n, hindi ako maano eh. Hindi ako para bang mabibigla na, talaga ba? Kasi kilala ko yung sarili ko. No? 39 years old na ako. My role right now is, kung according kay Eric Erickson, is to form long and lasting and stable relationship. Not only with my family, with my relatives, with my friends, but also with my coworkers and kung sino pa po, no? Yan ang importante na po during intimacy versus isolation, which is 19 to 40 years old. What if, sir, naka-encounter ng problem previously, identity versus role confusion? Well, as I have said earlier, it will be harder for you to go through the next level. Kasi, pagpalagay natin, makagraduate ka ng BSIS, but merong alinlangan na hindi mo alam kung yan talaga yung gusto mo sa buhay, di ba? Identity formation and role confusion. It will be hard for you later on. Na kung saan dapat ang focus mo na ay forming lasting relationship. Teka po, biglang nakikiliti ang ilong ni Sir. Nung Friday pa po ito ang aking sipon at ubo. Anyway, so moving on, next will be middle adulthood, which is generativity versus stagnation. I could feel myself moving towards here na. Not because magpo-40 na ako, no? But maybe because I'm able to follow this, no? As a, as much as possible, nafa-follow ko siya. Yun yung na-observe ko naman po, no? Na later on, my problem will be, or my challenge will be sa developmental task of Eric Erickson is to be having this generativity na tinatawag. When you say generativity, it's being able to contribute outside yourself. Pagpalagay natin, you were confronted with role confusion and problems with intimacy versus isolation. 40 na, diyan ka pala nag-establish ng sarili mo niyan. Diyan mo palang nalalaman na, ay, ito ang gusto ko sa buhay. Mahirap na yun, 40. Dapat ang takbo na ng buhay mo niyan, may sarili kang family. Kung yun ang hanap mo sa buhay, pwede rin namang single blessedness. Kung may family ang gusto mo, you focus on for their future, for your wife, for your son or daughter. So yun na ang focus natin, hindi na puro ikaw na ito gusto ko, bibili ako ng ganito sa sarili ko, bibili ako ng mga gadget. Although pwede naman, but still, the major priority of your life will be focused towards contributing to other people and even in the community. What I have observed of people 40 to 65 years old, they try to engage in service na kung saan makakatulong sila sa ibang tao, like joining these groups, no? Like for example, Knights of Columbus, or pwede namang any other group that might be that might be of help to the community. And syempre after that will be 65 to death is ego integrity versus despair. When you say integrity, it could be defined as being honest without somebody else looking. Tama yun. Pero pag ginamit mo rin ang integrity, it could be used in other definition. Like for example, kapag ginamit mo yan sa, uy, bumili ka ng bagong ng apartment. Ano ba ang ano diyan? Integrity. Anong integrity ng tinayo na construction na yan? It means foundation or strength. So when you say ego integrity, ego strength, or ego foundation mo, foundation ng self, ano ang tinanim mo hanggang sa makarating ka na 65 years old ka na lang? Ang pundasyon mo ba ay matibay? Ang pundasyon mo ba ay puno ng regret? Marami ka bang pagkakamali? Well, diyan ka na ngayon makakaramdam ng despair. Why? Because 65 to death, you are physically incapable na. There are no time left to correct mistakes. Unlike nung pagpalagay natin, young adult, nagkamali ka, pwede yung pampaguhin kasi kaya pa ng katawan. Pero kung 65 to death na, wala na. All you could do is, kung kakayanin, will be accept it. No? That's life. You will have to accept it. But it will be hard for you to face yourself. Kaya nga mirror ang image dito po. No? You have to face the reality na ito ka, ito yung buhay na binuhay mo for the recent years, then you have to accept the inevitable, no? That kung ang binuhay mo man nun is like for example lang, no? You did not do very well with your job, mas pinili mo magbisyo, mag-inom lagi, imbis na mag-set ng foundation for your son, no? Sa kanyang education later on in his or her life. So mahirapan ka. Matatakot ka mamatay nun kasi isipin mo paano na lang anak mo. Kaya nga sabi nila ang isang matanda, dalawa lang yan. Ready mamatay or natatakot mamatay. And it could be a lot of things. So that is the psychosocial stages of the self of Erik Erikson. Next, move on muna tayo po para hindi masyadong maba. Ito yung sinasabi kong pwede kong explain naman, no? Stage by stage, pero mas gusto ko po yun dahil nandoon na po lahat, no? Sa slide na yun. Pardon me, no? Para sa aking sorry. Pardon me for my voice and my constant singkot. Nangangati po kasi gustong suminga. Next naman po natin ay si Carl Rogers' self-theory, the real and ideal self. He is considered to be the founder, no, or among the founder of humanistic psychology. According to him, the self is adaptable and changing. Meaning to say, if we would compare it to the psychoanalytic view of Sigmund Freud, which is more on unconscious, whatever experiences we had in the past and napunta sa unconscious would later on would manifest on our teenage years sa ating personality. Sa naman po, humanistic approach, it's more of being adaptable, kaya mag-adapt, no, sa mga challenges and kaya magbago. So hindi tayo something na nakaset in stone na ganito ka kasi pinagdaanan mo yan before. For example, kung pagbabasihan natin ng psychoanalytic view ni Sigmund Freud, pwedeng ganito ang reasoning sa example. Let's say you grew up without a father. Single parent ang mother or a single parent na father. Or mas matindi, both parents wala. Sa tingin nyo ba makaka-apekto yun sa tao, sa bata na yun habang lumalaki? So kayo makakasagot ngayon, no? Individually. So, if si Sigmund Freud ang mag-explain yan, wala Kasi nangyari yan in the past. Unconsciously, it will shape your personality. Karaniwang pang mga batang ganyan, hindi ko naman nila lahat. Pagdating ng high school, mga bully. Or kung hindi naman, mga nabubully. Kung sila yung una ng bubully, dahilan nila wala akong tatay Gano'n bang kaimportante ang tatay? So sila ang authority figure, sila ang nagdidisiplina, di ba? So pwedeng during the early years ng bata, wala siyang father figure. So free siyang gawin yung gusto niya, walang maghahadlang. Later on in his personality, lalabas siya. So ganun ang depensa pagka psychoanalytic. But in humanistic, hindi. You're capable of adapting to your experiences and to change. Kaya nga ako, kapag tinatanong kami lagi sa master's class, I choose humanistic, no? Humanism. Pero syempre naniniwala din ako kay Sigmund Freud, but I believe in our capability to adapt and change. Kaya nga lagi ko sinasabi sa inyo, we are never victims of our situations. Why? Because to a large part or extent, we are part of that decisions na mga ginagawa natin sa buhay. Huwag nating gawing rason ang nakaraan at pinagdaanan. Next. So according to him, the self will only develop once we interact with other people. And it's important to know of our functioning level. Yan yung mga kakayahan natin. Characteristic, ibig sabihin kung sino ka, strengths and weaknesses. And also, bawat tao daw ay merong tendency to aim for self-actualization. The word self-actualization is quite familiar to you because if I remember correctly, nasa senior high po yan na subject, the understanding culture, society, and politics. Kundi senior high, junior high, kay Abraham Maslow. When you say self-actualization, that is the realization of your full potential. You are aware of your capabilities and characteristics, and you are consciously aiming towards to use it in a proper way. That is self-actualization. Next, kapag ang mga pangangailangan daw po natin ay hindi nakukuha or nade-deny, nakakaranas tayo ng severe anxiety. When you say anxiety, yan yung pag-aalala, worry, concern, or pagiging nervyoso. How? For example, ano ba ang mga iba't ibang pangangailangan natin? Napakarami. Pero ang ibibigay kong example is sa school, sa inyong mga student. The need to be recognized, the need to be acknowledged, the need to be competitive, the need to pass, di ba? Your subjects. Paano kung hindi mo maipasa yan? Hindi ka naman nare-recognize, hindi ka na-acknowledge. Why? Kasi hindi mo naman ginagamit yung full potential mo. Well, makakaramdam ka ng pag-aalala nun. Magkakaroon ka ng anxiety and nervousness. Why? Kasi unang-una, you will begin to doubt yourself yung kakayahan mo po, no? Iisipin mo, ito, kakayanin ko pa ba to? Para dito ba ako talaga? Okay? So, isa sa pinaka-importanting aspeto to achieve self-actualization is ang pagde-develop ng self-concept. When you say self-concept, sige, ang sagot natin dyan ay konsepto ng sarili, tama ka po. Ganun kasimple. Pag sinabi mong konsepto ng sarili, kung bibigyan ka ng papel, sulat mo lahat sino ka, that's your self-concept. Yun na yun eh. Pero ang self-concept natin ay nahahati sa dalawa according kay Carl Rogers. Yun na yung real self and ideal self. Kapag sinulat mo sa papel kung sino ka, meron dong totoo, ikaw yun, awareness mo na kaya mong gawin, awareness na kung sino ka pwedeng maging. Meron din dong mga bagay na masasabi mong ideal because yun yung ninanais mo. Na hindi mo pa agad masabi kung kakayanin mo ba talaga or connected pa talaga sa kakayahan mo. Kasama dyan yung mga goals sa buhay, aspiration, ambition, etc. And yung ideal self can be influenced by many factors. Your family, culture, society. For example, real self, based on your capability, gusto mong maging BS Criminology. Matikas katawan mo. Diba? And yan talaga ang masasabi mong inline sa iyong mga skills and capability. Pero sa ideal self, yan ay medyo na-impluensyahan ng parents, ang naging aspiration mo na ngayon tuloy ay iba. I have to be a doctor. I have to be an attorney. Kasi ganun si kuya, ganun ang aking parents. Maglalaban ngayon yan. So, your concept will be in conflict. Kapag ka in conflict yan, mag-next slide muna tayo. Kapag in conflict ang real self and ideal self, it will be much more harder for you to self-actualize. To put it simply, try to imagine you are doing something that you do not like. You are doing something that you're incapable of. Paano ka makapag-self-actualize nun? Diba? How will you realize your full potential? And because of that, commercial, inom si Sir. Hindi nagbabago yung kulay ng iced tea ko, no? Anyway, that's the concept of self ni Carl Rogers. Last one, Sigmund Freud's construction of self and personality. This one naman po, partially I have discussed yung construction of self. Excuse me. Yung sa construction of self po, yan yung layers of the self na na-discuss natin ng modern philosophical perspective. Ang pagkakaiba lang po dito sa lesson natin ay pinangalanan ni Sigmund Freud yung conscious, preconscious, and the unconscious, which is the id, ego, and superego. So, I will not dwell so much on this na, no? So, ipapakita ko na lang. Pag sinabi nating id, yan na naman yung pleasure-seeking side sa iceberg, unconscious level. Ego is the conscious level. And the superego is the conscience. Ayan yung ating preconscious. Next, so dito tayo mag-focus sa psychosexual stages. If you would also remember, during the lesson 2, medyo pinahapyawan to ni Sir, no? So, yung psychosexual stages naman po ni Sigmund Freud ay ibang-iba sa psychosocial stages. Ito naman po ay nakafocus to sa mga particular needs ng isang tao na nakafocus sa specific na katawan, na specific na part ng ating katawan. Na kung saan, kapag ito ay hindi na-satisfy, magde-develop tayo ng tinatawag na fixation. Ayan po, nakikita nyo sa inyong screen. When you say fixation, yan yung bagay na babalik-balikan natin later on when we grow up. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, for example, nung bata ka, hindi ka na-satisfied dito, unconsciously, it will be repressed, it will be fixated. Later on, when you are already in teenage years, babalik-balikan mo siya kasi na-fixate ka doon, na-fix or na-stuck. So yung oral stage, na-explain ko na po yan before, no? Tama po ba ako? It's about the mouth. So skip na natin yan, pati yung anal stage. Dito tayo mag-focus sa phallic stage. So during 3 to 6 years old, ang pleasure na nararanasan ng bata ay nakafocus na sa kanyang genitals. From the word phallus, yung phallic, phallus meaning an erect penis. So sana medyo open-minded po tayo kapag ito ay pinanonood na natin, no? So ang isang bata 3 to 6 years old, you may observe them kung meron kang kapatid or pamangkin, they are already aware or curious about the differences in the anatomy of a man and woman. Alam niyang itong ganito, kapag lalaki may penis or penis, kapag ganito wala, flat, that is a vagina. And children derive pleasure from touching it, yung kanilang genitals, no, fondling it, and even displaying it. Totoo, they display it. Kaya nga during this stage, it is very important that a child be guided properly and accordingly by his parents or teachers. Like for example, a parent should teach a child 3 to 6 years old, oh, hindi mo dapat pinapakita yan in public, no? Kasi kapag hindi po yan naituro sa bata later on in their life, it would manifest in their behavior. For example, sa aking anak po, no, na-observe ko yan, dati hindi siya mahihiya eh. Hindi siya nahihiya pa, no? Na kunyari, naligo siya, then dito nagbihis, kung saan kunyari meron kaming bisita, tita niya or pinsan niya, hindi pa siya mahihiya nung bata siya. Maybe because, kung i-connect pa natin yung kay George Herbert Mead, wala pa siyang sense of self. Pero pag 3 to 6 may sense of self na yan, lalo na pag 6 po pag 6, kailangan may paalam na sa kanila na hindi dapat nakikita yan. Kasi pag hindi tinuro sa kanila yan, pagtanda, pwedeng ano yan maging behavior na abnormal sexual behavior like exhibitionist, yung nagpa-flash po ng genitals in public, even nudist, yan yung kapag nasa loob ng bahay, okay lang nakahubad. So, yun po, no? Next, also in this stage, 3 to 6, may tinatawag tayong Oedipus complex. Teka nga, tingnan ko kung naka-record to. Baka mamaya, kanina pa ako daldal ng daldal. Yun. During this stage, yung mga kalalakihan, so I'm talking to the boys, meron tayong pinagdadaanan na Oedipus complex. During which, yung kabataan natin, nagkakaroon tayo ng unconscious sexual attachment to our mother. Medyo malaswa at hindi ka panipaniwala, pero ayan yung sinasabi ni Sigmund Freud. Then what will happen? We will feel jealousy and envy towards our father. Why? It's because alam natin na yung father natin is yung syempre karelasyon and kasama-sama ng ating mother. Then what will happen? Even through this envy and jealousy, magkakaroon tayo ng fear and anxiety. Yun yung castration. When you say castration, kapon, natatakot tayo na pag nalaman to ng father natin, is baka tanggalan tayo ng penis. So, to resolve it, the son will identify with the father. And the father becomes a role model rather than a rival. And pwede rin i-connect yan with sexual orientation or gender. That is why ang isang batang lalaki, successful siyang nag-identify sa tatay, ang kanyang sexual orientation ay male or lalaki. Do you get the point? Yun ang explanation ni Freud. Once a boy fails to identify with the father and continues to identify with the mother, then there will be a tendency to be what? A gay or gay kasi lalaki, gay, di ba? So, Hindi man ka panipaniwala. Yan ang sabi ni Freud. Pero huwag kayong mag-alala guys, dahil meron katumbas yan sa babae. Sa babae naman po, ang tawag ay Electra complex. So it starts by ang mga batang babae, they have this belief na sila ay kinapon na or nakastrate. Kasi pagtingin nila sa sarili nila, they don't have any penis. Ang tawag ng penis envy. Kaya sinisisi niya ang kanyang nanay dahil dito. Bakit ang kanyang nanay? Kasi yung nanay niya ay ganun din. Wala rin daw penis. So, nakakatawa. Alam ko nakakatawa pag ito habang pinapanood niya, mapapaismit ka na lang na ba't ganun? Di ba? Pero yun ang sinasabi ni Freud. So, because of this, magkakaroon siya ng penis envy. But later on, ang explanation din ni Freud, if successful, the child, yung batang babae po, would continue to resolve this and identify with the mother, and magiging role model niya yung mother. Magkakaroon siya ngayon ng sexual orientation of a woman. Next. Second to the last stage, matatapos na tayo. During the latency stage, 7 to 12, which is school days or school age, dito raw yung sexual energy ng bata na nakafocus nun sa genitals niya ay mare-repress kasi siya ay busy and preoccupied with school. And lastly, genital stage, adolescence to adulthood, pleasure is again focused or derived from our genitals. And individuals will seek to satisfy these needs or sexual drives through sexual relationships. If you would analyze that statement, it could be interpreted that during genital stage, once na bumalik na sa genital area natin ang pleasure na hinahanap-hanap natin, the only way to satisfy it will be through sexual relationship. Meaning to say, ang outlet mo will be with wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend. Meaning to say, masturbation is wrong. So kung nakakaramdam ka ng sexual arousal, ang masturbation daw ay mali, according kay Freud. But we know that scientifically, there is nothing wrong with it. Religiously, syempre naman may mali with masturbation. But anyway, sexual problems may result as a consequence of inappropriate sexual behavior. Bakit magkakaroon ng inappropriate sexual behavior? Babalik tayo sa stage 3, during the phallic stage, na kung saan, kung hindi naturuan ng tama ang bata, pwedeng mag-manifest sa kanyang pag-uugali ngayon. Like for example, isa ka ng adolescent or adult, pwedeng ang iyong mga sexual behavior is yung tinatawag na, yun nga, binanggit ko muna kaninang una, exhibitionist, nagpa-flash ng genitals. Kasi nung bata, hindi siya tinuruan. Walang nagpigil sa kanyang magulang. O, di ba? So, gagawin mo yan pagtanda daw, sabi ni Sigmund Freud. Meron din namang mga pag-uugali like BDSM. Sa sexual intercourse, gusto niya yung B, bandage. D, bandage, yan yung mga may posas, gusto ginagapos, ewan ko pa naman, may latigo pa. D, dominant. Gusto niya yung may mga role-playing na dominant siya. Then, SM, sadista, and masochista. So, may mga ganyan pong inappropriate sexual behavior. Gusto yung mga sasaktan muna siya. Sadista pala, mananakit, kasi doon siya nakaka-derive ng pleasure eh. Masochista naman, gusto mo sasaktan muna, yung papatakan pa ng kandila, kung ano-ano. So that is inappropriate kasi yung iyong level of satisfaction when it comes to sexual intercourse is above the normal level, no, na matatawag natin. Kasi kung magte-take ka ng survey, I think not every human being needs to undergo that kind of sexual adventure and inappropriate sexual behavior just to be aroused or makontento. Meron pa nga yung kunyari husband and wife, kahit sino man sa kanilang dalawa, no? Kunyari yung husband na lang. The husband would let his friend have sex with his wife kasi doon siya ma-arouse kapag ka ino-observe or napapanood yung kanyang wife in a sexual intercourse. Medyo masyado siya masalimuot na pag-usapan, no? Itong kay Sigmund Freud because it is grounded and ang foundation ay nasa sexual things na yan. But anyway, That's one of his that's his perspective, and he's considered as one of the most famous, but if not the most controversial psychologist na kilala po. So I think that's it, no? My last slide is thank you. Let me take this opportunity to say something about what happened last Friday, kung mapapanood nyo man to o hindi. On my part, I like your section, section 3, no? Marami akong gustong section eh. Section 1 also, I like them. CPE, I like them. But I like your section a little notch higher, no? But somehow, naapektuhan siya ng ingay minsan sa classroom. Siguro isang factor na nun is that medyo hindi nga maganda pakiramdam ko noon. That's why I'm easily irritated, which dapat napigilan ko. But anyway, it happened already. So yun lang, no? Sana wag po tayo ganun kaingay, no? Let's not forget what I have told you and what I have expected from the class during the first week of our meeting. Okay po? At hindi na ako galit. Hindi ako nagtatanim ng galit. Yung galit na yun ay nung Friday lang. When we meet on Wednesday, I'm again the Sir Santo Domingo that you have known before. Okay po? So that's all. It's already what time na ba dito? Ayan, medyo late na rin. So, good night sa inyo guys. I will see you all tomorrow, but I will see you all in class on Wednesday and Friday. So please read lesson number 6. Medyo maganda siyang topic and hindi naman ganun kahabaan. And please prepare for our final quiz on Friday. That's all guys. Love you all. Mama, chup chup. Before I end this, so let me close my camera. Babay na po. Sana wag niyo tong screenshot na habang nakapikit si sir, no? So, yun lang. Stop video, and in any moment of now, it will stop recording. Good night, guys.